Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with a teaser video, a teaser video for the series for Gathering Magic. This week's Rogue's Alley. Thought I'd take a fan list that I had a nice chat with. I can't remember what your screen name was. I don't think I ever got to the point of your real name. But we were talking about how to build like a Jund deck, and I suggested going into Seasons Past with Jund. So I'm going to go ahead and try a more tweaked version of this deck. This is a one of and a one of in the deck. Dragonmaster Outcast is a later addition to the deck, as I wanted like a one drop I could actually get back with Seasons Past that was relevant late game. And so we'll just start off here with we need black sources as quickly as possible for the Grasp of Darkness. I actually think it's more important to get a black source than a green source here. So I could give it a turn. Well, actually will with Smoldering Marsh. I don't think I need to grasp anything early. So Smoldering Marsh coming into play tapped here will give me the option to draw into a green source or a black source and not have to fetch for the other one. Or not have to fetch for that one. See, exactly, that's what happens. Now I can just go ahead and crack an Evolving Wilds to get a green source. So that will be the play. I'm just going to do it right now. And we'll go ahead as well and put out a Dragonmaster Outcast. So Dragonmaster's kind of weird in this deck. I like it though. It has already taken over a few games. Start breeding some 5/5 dragons. Our opponent does not have a turn 3. And we have a Radiant Flames or Grasp of Darkness. We'll just go ahead and Pilgrim's Eye and find the other green source because we do need a green source for the Seasons Past. So we'll go ahead, grab that basic forest, and attack in with the Dragonmaster. See if he runs like the Sacrifice an Attacking Creature card. I could really care less if that actually happens. So it is a renewable resource. Harness Lightning. Okay. So far, a white-red deck, Harness Lightning, Evolving Wilds. It is Jund. This should be a great matchup. We do exceptionally well against control. Do pretty good versus... I've built this latest version to be good versus aggro. So I am going to attack him with the Pilgrim's Eye. And we will be able to cast, we'll cast Kalitas, even though Kalitas, Kalitas, whatever you want to call him, can die to a Harness Lightning at this point with the energy of our opponent. If our opponent does want to use it, then sure. Chandra can also kill. It's going to be Hedron Archive, so as a heavier ramp deck, I'm actually a little less excited to go against a deck like this. We have a lot of dead cards. I'm still going to not show him the Blighted quite yet. We get in for 4 damage here. And got a little bit of lag here on MC Joe today. And swing in for the 4 damage. And we'll gain 3 life. Not very relevant in this matchup. Have a lot of dead cards in our hand. We can actually double grasp a card that our opponent puts out. I don't know what it would be that would be relevant to double grasp. Can't hit Emrakul. I'm pretty sure this is a Naya Emrakul type deck. And the Combustible Gearhulk. We will take the damage. That is something we can double grasp. And he hits all lands. Well, that was a very uneventful Combustible Gearhulk. Attacking with both. Yep, he falls for the bait. Rather just Grasp of Darkness. I guess we could have got in there for some more damage, but I'd rather, utilize as many deader spells. The Murder is of course going to be relevant, and the Blighted Fen are going to be more relevant, in my opinion, later game. So being able to take out the Combustible Gearhulk with the Grasp of Darkness, and at the cost of, I guess, a 3, yeah, you can have another Combustible Gearhulk. See if this one can just completely miss. And we take a whopping 2 damage. That's why I've kind of grown To not like this card. This could be a Flicker-based deck. I wonder if there's like a Eldrazi Displacer. That's what the Hedron Archive's in there, just as another way to generate the colorless mana. And then he tries to flicker the Combustible Gearhulk. But I think at this point we do murder the Combustible Gearhulk. We will sack it. I want to get in for some damage here, so I thought sacking the zombie's better for Kalitas. So Servant of Conduit just generates some energy. It's going to be a Grasp of Darkness target. We actually Radiant Flames it. See if he's gonna cast the third Combustible Gearhulk. He can't cast a other Gearhulk. This is gonna be some sort of Naya Reanimator, I would say. That's what the Tormenting Voice is in there for. Possibly not. I could just be completely wrong. The Battlements is kind of cool with the Gearhulks. And there is another Kalitas. So we are just going to go for the win here. And grasp on the Servant. And then swing in for lethal. The Harness can still actually take care of the... Alright, there's the concession. Alright, so you didn't find anything off of it, and the Kalitas is swinging in for the lethal. So I don't think we need like Radiant Flames. He's going for a slower version. So we're going to bring in all of our slow cards to combat his Lost Legacy. Not quite sure. Pick the Brain's awesome here. So is Transgress. S's Extraction is unnecessary. Grasp of Darknesses are all actually unnecessary. I don't know exactly what my opponent has in this deck. Shamble Back I'm going to keep in because I'm thinking there is some sort of Reanimator flair to this. The Appetite is good. Natural State, I don't know if there's anything worthwhile. We don't need Weaver. So I could keep in one Grasp of Darkness, or I could just bring in the Lost Legacy. And I'm just going to bring in the Lost Legacy. I think we have plenty of action. Collective Brutality is still fine because it can rip out an instant. And we don't need Weavers. We don't need S Extraction. We don't need Natural State. I guess Grasp of Darkness would be the least dead card out of the rest. But I mean, this is our removal package that we run for the creature base decks. So no dead cards though. To the Slaughter is great. Painful Truce. Here's a little overview. Gone down to one Diabolic Tutor and one Seasons Pass. That might be a mistake. It's just because I was having a hard time with those aggro decks, and they were being sided out almost every game. And so I don't know. Maybe I should bring it back in, because we are vulnerable to a Seasons Pass getting exiled or ripped out of our hand, and there's no way to get it back after that point. That's why we run the double. But the Diabolic Tutor was also quite weird. I mean, I used to be... I started out with 4 and 2, 4 Diabolical Tutors, and then the aggro decks just completely ran me over. And I might just need to adjust in the sideboard to have a couple in the sideboard each, and then that is a good play against these later-based decks. But right now, that's kind of a non-existent term later games. Everything is very, very quick. So here is a Swamp, and we did not draw the land that we needed to draw. But if we do draw a green source, then Painful Truce is going to be beautiful. I'd love to see like a Tormenting Voice. All right, so it's going to be a Servant, which is actually something I can't deal with. So there's the green source, though. And I do want him to drop something into the graveyard for Shamble Back for me to exile. Gives me a target for the Dark Salvation. For 3, I would be able to kill the Servant. But still no play by our opponent. I think I will hit a Transgress here. Wow, all in on this late game. We'll take the Hedron Archive. Possibly not the right play, but I mean he's low on lands. Can't cast any of those other cards for quite a while. Gives us the opportunity to draw to pick the Brain. It does draw into the Wild Wanderer, so now the Just find him that. Yeah, Act 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the big pig can actually come out next turn. Most likely just Painful Truce here. No, Pilgrim's Eye is fine. Gives us a land drop. Well, so does Painful Truce. Which one's actually better? We're just going to Pilgrim's Eye. Whoops! I grabbed the wrong one. Should have grabbed a red source instead of a black source there. Or even a green source. I just automatically just usually grab. So just took 1 damage there again from the Gearhulk, but he was able to ramp it out. I still think we run the... Alright, so Ob Nixilis can take care of the Gearhulk and then force an attack into it. Wild Wanderer is a perfect target for the with the Decimator Provinces, though. I believe it's 9, and so there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, he can easily cast it. And that might be the smart play because it could do kill Ob Nixilis and 7 damage to me, and then I'd be kind of struggling at that point. Emrakul is getting close. Artifact, land, creature, serving the conduit. He's going for the kill. So I think I need to go Pick the Brain does get rid of the Deep Fiend. And then we have a Shamble Back. I think that's the right course of action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's still a ways away from Emrakul. So I think that this is going to be the right line of play. Artifact, creature, enchantment. So, wait, not a creature. So Planeswalker, artifact, creature. Yeah, we can actually get rid of all of them. So we do have Delirium. And I think Emrakul is still... Maybe I need to get rid of Decimator because since I'm low, because we can't take care of the... Yeah, it's going to be Decimator. He's running 3 of them. See how many Emrakuls is running here. Just 1 more Emrakul. So the Decimators get decimated by the Pick the Brain. It's left with an Emrakul in hand. Harness Lightnings, Radiant Flames. Kept those in. Okay. Combustible Gearhulk, Deathcaps, Bedlam Revelers. Alright, so that's fine. And then we can Shamble Back, which gets rid of his Delirium quite well. And gives us a blocker. So now all he has is land and sorcery in his graveyard. And I'm going to kick myself for that Chandra play. Other than... Deathcat Cultivator. Do you attack in? I do block if you do. A Flamecaller this time. So it's going to be Chandra or Nissa. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana for Emrakul. And that's all that's in his hand. No Delirium. Flamecaller will come out next turn and wipe the field because Nissa can actually untap Mountain. That does not have Death Touch yet. Yes, okay, so now we're definitely in the driver's seat. So we get the Chandra, and all we need to do is -2 Chandra. play a land. And Emrakul is very far away from being cast. And that's pretty much going to be game. He basically can see, it shows us the lands in his hand here. So now we have a Ruinous Path. I could Emblem here. I can bring back a Pilgrim's Eye, bring back an Ob Nixilis. I think the right play is just to Painful Truce. And that way we can Emblem, which draws us a card. And I actually don't like my hand. Do I like my hand? Ruinous Path, Ruinous Path. Those actually take care of Emrakul. I think... yeah, my hand's okay. What could I draw into? What would be better, though? I think I'd like the Noxious Gearhulk. Yeah, because this hand can take care of most of what our opponent's trying to do, so I'm going to start making some elementals. Switch gears here, swinging for 8. And there is the concession, so... not a bad little showing. Again, we do very well versus mid-range decks. The Planeswalkers are incredibly powerful in this matchup. The matchups that I've played against so far, UI Flash is pretty 50-50. Grasp of Darkness Transgresses, if they hit the right cards early, are very powerful. You have to worry about Archangel Avacyn, and you also have to worry about Gideon. Vehicles are actually pretty decent just because of the fact that if they're the bigger vehicles running the Cultivator's Caravan or the Council's Flagship, then it can be a little bit rougher, and Chopper can give us problems. We do have Grasp of Darkness, though, and Murder. So we have action for those type of decks. Green-Black Delirium is a little bit 50-50 too. If you can get rid of Emrakul and Ishkanah, it's pretty easy after that point. Also, the Demon, the Monarch Demon, can be a little bit tough. So they have a nice little spread of things you have to remove. Grasp of Darkness doesn't do the best of getting rid of the Ishkanahs. But all in all, I like the deck. I think it's got a lot of play versus the meta at the moment. And it's quite fun to play, to play like a heavy control-based deck. I'll keep evolving the deck as time goes on and let you know. Again, this is a user-submitted deck or a fan-submitted deck. A lot of times I can't respond to messages on MTGO because I'm either recording some gameplay or just AFK. I sometimes leave open MTGO at the shop for hours upon hours. So if I don't message back to you, if I don't have time to respond, don't take it personally. But I do try to respond to most of the emails and questions I get regarding decks. There is a way, if you absolutely do want my undivided attention, we do have a tier over at Patreon. I think it's $15 if you pledge. Then once per month, I will give you my undivided attention on a deck that you are working on. And hopefully I have one person that has responded to that. I guess I should go see if they want a deck for this month to be reviewed and brewed around and whatnot. But yeah, that is an option. We also have a few other options at patreon.com. So if you go over to Patreon/RogueDeckBuilder, that is a great way to support me. Now the ad revenue is pretty much horrible from YouTube, which is disappointing because Q4 usually is pretty decent. But anyway, this is a sponsored video for Gathering Magic, so go ahead and go and check out GatheringMagic.com. I do a series called The Rogues Alley Weekly, either that or Playing on a Budget. And this week I decided to play Rogues Alley with the user-submitted Seasons Pass deck. And so far so good. It did very well. I won't spoil the outcome, but go watch that tomorrow. Being Wednesday, it usually releases. Sometimes it releases on Thursday. It's been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.